Hi, welcome to Escape Motorhomes. My name is Andy, this is Lady E, and today we're going to demonstrate how she works prior to your handover. So first of all, we're going to look at the outside of the van, and there's some key points which you'll find very useful before you pick her up. So just moving down to the side of the van, she's equipped with excuse me, she's equipped with an 80 litre onboard water tank which fills up here. It's very similar to a petrol cap. It's just a push in and turn. You can actually lock this if you want to, but we never really bother with that. It's entirely up to you. There is a key on the key ring. So the van comes equipped with a hose pipe and reel. So you can fill the van up on site, or you can fill it up at a petrol station, anywhere where they have an outdoor water tank. So basically the wand this side has a shut off, so when it's that way it's off, and when it's that way it's on. Simply just put the wand inside. This will then hook up to the water point on site, and you just keep that running. It will take about probably 20 minutes. It's quite a big tank, so don't worry if you just stood there for quite a while. It will take 20 minutes, and when it is full, you'll hear a kind of a whirring noise, and you'll see water just starting to come out of here. Then you know it's full. At that point, you can simply just knock the nozzle off, take it out, and remember to put the cap back on. So that's your 80 litre fresh water. It is fresh water, but we don't recommend that you drink it. It could have, the hose pipe could have bacteria in it or something from the pipe. We would recommend you boil it before drinking it, but it's perfect for showers and for using inside the van, washing pots and pans, etc. Okay, coming back further again here, this is your waste water. So all the waste water from the shower and from your sink area in the kitchen will come through this little pipe here. So it's important that when you're on site, you connect this into there. Simply unscrew that, pop that into there, and then whilst you're on site you can just pop that underneath, and that will fill up, and it will hold about 12 litres in total. Once it's full, you'll see the water just ebbing around the edge here. So at that point you know it's full. Simply just slide it out, put the cap back on, and you can take that away to empty it on site at a chemical waste point. Always remember, of course, as well, when you're leaving the site, to unhook this and take it with you. You don't want to be dragging that down the motorway. So that's your waste hog. This is kept in the van whilst you're in transit, and we'll show you that on the day that you come to collect the van. So that is your wastewater. For those of you who are hooking up, who are going on a campsite with 240 volt electricity, this is your power point. So you've got a little connector in here. We supply you with a 20 metre 240 volt cable. You can't get these wrong on site. They're male and female. They'll only go in one way. So obviously the female side goes to the van. So you simply, this lid here just slides across the top there, and just push it in and hear it click as far as it can go. Then obviously you'll find your power point on site. That just clicks into the other side, and you'll have a little trip meter on there. You just check that they're working, and then you've got 240 volts inside the van. Once you're finished, just wrap the cable back up. Then you've got a little lever inside here which you just push down and pull out. So that's it going back. So you push that down there and simply just pull it out, and then make sure that is clipped too, otherwise it will flap about in the wind when you're actually driving. You probably noticed when I was doing the waste hog, there's a little blue point here. There's a little blue tap here. You don't need to bother about that. That just releases the water in the tank for when we're storing the van in winter, so it doesn't freeze over. So you just don't touch that at all. Okay, so coming around this side of the van, and here we have, for those of you who are going to be using bikes, we do hire bikes if you want to ask about that. If you've got your own bikes, please feel free to bring them. We do suggest not electric bikes because they're a bit too heavy. It will take 35 kilos maximum, so make sure it's just normal mountain bikes or racing bikes is fine. You've got a little tab here which you just undo this. This is really just a safety thing to keep all this in place while you're in transit. So it's got little teeth there, so you just pull that through, and then you release. You've got 2 hooks in here, it just releases it down and you're ready to put your bikes on. What we suggest is your heaviest bike goes at the front with the handlebars facing that way, and then what you will have to do is just find out, you can adjust these here, and you've just got to move them until you find the bar on your bike, and then all you do is just clip that, so they just clip out. You will have a bar, the crossbar of the bike, or sometimes it can be the T-bar of the bike. And finally, for the outside of the van, we come to the compartment which holds the gas bottle. I call this the garage, really. So you've got a little button there, flip and open. Inside we've got a 6 kilogram propane gas bottle, and also there's a little gauge there as well. Now we send these gas bottles out full, but you'll see the gauge is only halfway over. It's because this gauge is made for a 12k as well, so it's only showing half there, so it is full even though it's showing half. So we always send you out with a full gas bottle. We also, this is where we keep the electric hookup, and it's also where we keep the water pipe. For those of you who are on that should really last probably about a week, but for those who are on a longer staycation or vacation, I'll show you how to change the gas bottle. Most campsites sell these, most garages when you're on your travels will sell these, and what they will do is they will swap the empty for a new full one, which should cost you around anything between 25 and 30 pounds. However, they will not accept, they will not replace it unless you have got an empty bottle to swap them. So just remember that, just bear that in mind. But you should have an empty. Just pause that. So I'll show you now how the gas bottle comes out should you need to change it, and how to change it. Also, it's important to remember that when you're actually in transit with the van, the gas bottle must be switched off. So if Eleanor can bring the camera just in, I'll show you where the screw top on there is to switch it off. So it needs to go that way, which is anti-clockwise to turn it on, and then it needs to go that way clockwise to turn it off. They work the opposite way to conventional screws. So once you've turned that fully round, the gas bottle is off, and that's a safety issue for when you're traveling. But remember, when you come back onto the site, to switch that back on, otherwise you'll have trouble getting your gas through. So you just simply switch it the other way, and that's back on. I'll switch it off now because I'm actually going to show you how to take the bottle off, should you need to change it once it's empty. So you've got a little, rather like the bike strap here, it's just a safety strap which hooks into there to keep it all in. So I normally take this off first because it's easier to get the bottle off when the bottle's outside of the van than fiddling about in there. So we supply you with a spanner which is just kept on a hook under there. Please remember not to lose that, and put it back once you've finished with it, because you get to your next site and you come to take it off, you'll struggle. So just pull that out gently, making sure not to put any tension on that, because that's your main gas feed into the van. So I normally just rest it on the floor, and then you've got your spanner here. Now the screws on these are the opposite way to conventional for some reason. So where you think you're tightening it up, you're actually untightening it. So it's the opposite way around. So I need to go forward with this to unscrew it rather than backwards, which you would normally do. So once you've got that in place, you just push it, and then you'll see it loosen, and you simply just unscrew that as far as it goes. I'll do it all the way, then you can see what the end's like. So that comes out. Quite a few threads on it, so bear with it. And there's your nozzle. And then, assuming this is now the new gas bottle that we're putting on, just offer it up, make sure it's nice and straight so you don't cross thread it, and we're going the opposite way that you would normally go to tighten it up. So we're going that way now, so we're going, and you'll feel it as it starts to tighten there. It starts to go in. Normally I've, oh sorry, just doing that the wrong way there. So that's it, so we're going backwards there now, that's it. So you're just going backwards, sorry, that way. Getting myself confused there. So that's, you can see it tightening up now. So go, I usually go as far as I can with my fingers because it's easier, and then just nip it up with the spanner once I've got as far as I can get with my fingers. So we're nearly there. You can feel it tightening up. It goes in quite a way, so that's getting tight now with my fingers, and then I will just nip it up with the spanner just to make sure it's super tight. We don't want any leaks, and that's it. And then just move this out of the way, and you simply just pop it back in. Watch your fingers, push it back as far as it'll go. Try and keep this as nice and straight as possible, the main pipe. Don't have it twisted in any way because that could impede your gas supply. And then just pull this around, and we're just tightening this on again. So that's you. Just push that in there as far as it'll go, through the other one. Always fiddly these things, but that's it. Just pull it as tight as you can so it just keeps that bottle from moving about. And then spanner, always remember to put that back, just hooks onto there and sits there nicely. And then you can put your water thing back, your water hose back. That will go in that side. Again, make sure it doesn't impede the pipe in any way. And then this is your hookup cable. So I'll just push that to one side, and it's a little bit tight is this, but it will just go in and just sits nicely in there. There we go. And as long as it's out of the way of that catch, you're fine. And there we go. Shut the door too, make sure it's locked, and you're good to go again. So that's everything you need to know on the outside of the van. Don't worry if you've not taken all that in. We will show you again on the handover, but it just helps if you can watch a video before you come. And what we'll do now, I'll hand you over to Eleanor, and she'll show you everything that goes on inside the van. So if you have any questions, please, prior to your visit, don't hesitate to ask. We're always here to help. Okay, thank you. So once you've opened the bonnet release, I'll show you where the screen wash is, because that's usually the thing that you do need to change if you're using a lot of screen wash. We do ensure that all our vans go out fully topped up with all the fluids. So you've got brake fluid, you've got radiator fluid in here, and this is where your screen wash is. So the screen wash is just down there in the corner. It's dead easy to find, but you shouldn't really need that unless you're going on a very long journey, because that is always filled up before you go. It's fully serviced. All the fluids, as I said earlier, are checked. The oil and everything is checked, so you should be fine. I'll show you where the fuel is, which I just need to get the keys for that. It's quite important. So the fuel cap is from the key itself, so you do need the key, and you'll find the fuel is here. Key goes in, quick turn, and that stays in. It won't come out until you put it back in. That's a safety thing, so you don't lose the key. It is diesel. You'll notice this little blue inlet here. This is for AdBlue. It's to cleanse the diesel for climate purposes. We do fill it up completely with AdBlue, so you should not need any. However, if you do get a sign on the dashboard, it will come up that you need AdBlue. It'll give you 200 miles, so you've got literally 200 miles to get some AdBlue in there. You can buy it at any garage. You just top it up and put it in there, a little bit like oil. You just top it up and it's fine. However, if you leave it longer than 200 miles, the van will fail to start. So it is a kind of again another safety issue. However, again, we do fill that up and it's good for a good 3,000 miles, so you should not need it. But just in case, if anything happened, if you did more than that, then it would flag up on the dash. So nothing to worry about, but you do know that if you see the blue sign on the dash, this is where you need to fill it up. So as soon as you fill, fuel cap back on and you're good to go again. Coming to the top of the van, we have our awning, which you can see here, which is nice on a very sunny day. If you want a bit of shade, or if you've just got a little bit of light rain, you can bring that out. That is operated with a key, which is kept on the back here. So these are the blocks, which I'll show you in a second. So the key for the awning is just kept on the door here, so it just clips in here. So I'll show you how it works. So you just clip it off. That will fall off. Very simple to use. The key just fits in there. It'll only go in one way, and then just turn it slightly, and you grab this here, and just start to. Oops, sorry, just come out there. 1 second. Yeah, so you just start to pull it out. So pull this. This is about 6 foot in length, so you would just pull. I'm not going to hit that van there. I'll not pull it out all the way. This is just to show you how to drop the legs. So once you get it, if you could just bring the camera around here, Eleanor. Once you've got I use it as a rule of thumb. Once you've got this out to about the same length as the key, you're ready to drop the legs down without damaging the side of the van. So if you just come around this way, so the legs are here. There's a little lock there. Push that forward and just pull that out. So that's one of the legs. So it needs to just spin round and just drop down, nice and easy. So they are designed to go whatever length you want them. So you don't want to go fully out. So you just put them down to the length of the ground. Lock that. Do the same with the other one. There's another one on this side. Exactly the same. Unlock, sorry, just show that. Unlock that, pull that back, and then just spin this out. Do it very gently and let it just drop down. And again, you'll just put it to the length you want it. Remember to lock that. And then if we just follow me round back to the key, you can carry on unwinding it till you get it to the desired. Well, I'm not going to go too far because we're near a van there, but this will go out a good 6 to 7 feet out, so it's quite wide. So once you've got it set in the position you want, we supply you with tent pegs, which you will just put in here, just like if you were camping with a tent. And you've got a mallet, so you just knock those in, and that just makes it extra sturdy, stop it moving about. I'll show you where these are in a moment. We keep these underneath the driver's seat in their own compartment. Excuse me. Which under there you will also see the jack and the wheel brace, and there's also jump leads if you have a flat battery, you need jump leads. So that's all underneath the driver's seat with these here. To put it back, it's virtually reverse of what you've done. So you just slowly turn it. You've got to be quite delicate with them. Make sure this leg goes back as far as it'll go in, and then once it's in, you can see there's a little hook here which that will go into eventually. So you just lie that down and then just slide that up a bit. There you go. So once it's in there, and then you just push that fully back, and that's locked now. So all that leg is locked in, so it's not going to move anywhere. And then you do the same with the other one. Remember to unlock it here, retract the leg, and just lock it again. Then it doesn't come out while you're putting it back. And again, you just gently turn that arm there so it slots in. It can be a little bit tricky this. Oh, sorry, Eleanor. There you go. So you'll just hear it clip down, and then you need to just unlock this, push this back, and then just push that into there, and that will just lock in, and that's locked now. So it's ready now to wind back in. So you're just winding it the opposite way that you did before. Same key. Let's go in the opposite way, and just do it nice and slowly, not too fast. It doesn't matter if it's wet, you can put it away wet because it has, the water will release itself at the back. So it's just a matter of slowly winding it back. You'll hear it just, that's it, as far as it goes. Once it's tight like that, it's locked, and that's it. So again, just take the key out. It's just, there we go. That is a bit tricky, this one. You've just got to get it the right way around. Whereas it came out before, didn't it? Oops.
I'm Eleanor, and I'm going to show you the inside of Lady E and how everything operates. Okay, so first of all, the main thing here is your panel above here. This is your control panel for everything in the van. So it's quite self-explanatory. This is your master key here, button, so we put that on. Next to that, you've got your lights, you've got your water pump, which needs to be on if you're going to use water in the van, and the sockets, which is for all of your sockets in the van too, and that's just a spare, so you can just ignore that. Here you've got 2 USB ports, which is quite handy as well when you're driving on the move, because you can plug your phone into these if you've got a long cable while you're driving. And here you can see a figure of number 13, which means there's 13 volts in the van at the moment, which is off grid, and that reads 13, and that comes from your solar panel, which stores all your power into your batteries. So this is what you need to keep an eye on when you're off grid, and watch that it doesn't run below probably about 11. And when it goes to about 11, you might have to turn your ignition on. That's if you're using your inverter to turn it to 240 volt. We'll explain that a bit more when we're with you in depth about that. So, but this is your control panel, okay? So it's quite self-explanatory, and if you want to go to sleep at night, you can turn the whole thing off, because the solar panel will control your fridge, freezer, and keep it working, and you don't need it on at all. And in the bathroom, we've got little sensor lights that will come on when you're going to use the loo in the night. So that's a little extra, which is nice, so you don't have to put all your lights on. Okay, so next thing is I'm going to show you your Truma heating system. This is a fantastic piece of kit. It's just a little bit sensitive, and you've just got to not be heavy-handed with the buttons. So it's here, okay. Now your Truma works like a socket, so you have to have your panel on, okay. So I would make sure you've got your pump on and your sockets on to use this, all right. So first of all, we're off grid, pretending we're off grid at the moment, which we are. So we're going to use gas, because it does gas and electric, this little thing. First thing to do is to check that your gas bottle's turned on first, okay. So make sure your gas bottle's on. If you don't want to go outside your van, you can just try one of your rings. You've got 2 gas rings here, so we'll put them both on for you anyway. Oh, there we go. So we know we've got gas running through the van, because if your gas isn't switched on, when you're trying to turn on your Truma, it will show an E17 number, which means that there's no power coming to the unit from your gas. So that's it. So we're all set to go. And also, when we're just talking about your gas hobs, make sure these glass doors make sure they're up when you've got your gas on, because they'll just explode. They're not heat proof, okay. Both of them need to be up when you're using your gas. Okay, so this is our panel, so we're all on, everything's switched on, and it'll just show you that when you've turned it on, which means it's been on a minute now. So a little button in the middle, push the button in once like that, and you'll see you've got 4 symbols here. First symbol that's flashing, that's for your heating in the van, okay, in your lounge area where we're stood now. So we want to turn it on. So it just goes back to the start again. Push it in again, then you push it in if that's what you require. So yes, we're going to heat it. Push it in, and you'll get a little off switch there. So in order to turn your heating up and down, you've got your little, outside of here, you've got a little wheel. So you turn the wheel clockwise like that until you come to your desired temperature. So we're just going to put it on to 30 at the minute because it's pretty warm outside. So let's put it on to that. Push it in again, push it once in, and then you should hear a small clicking noise, which means that the Truma heater is setting itself up. That's it. It's a couple of little tiny double clicks. Now you've got a flame there flashing, which means it's going to stay flashing until it's reached your temperature, till it goes up to 30 degrees. And it is thermostatic this, so it'll just keep coming on and off when it reaches the temperature that you've set. Okay, so if we want, there's a fan with your heater, so we're going to push the button in again, and that's your fan. So you could just turn your little dial until you get to the fan, push the button in, because that's what we want to we want to adjust the fan. Turn it, push the button again, and you've got two settings, eco or high on your fan. Push it in, we want it to be high, and you can hear that. And if your fan, can I just show you where your little vents are? You've got one here, and you've got one on the other side. Okay, you've got two there, and you've got another vent at the front here, by your side door as well, over here. Okay, that's your other one there. Okay, so it's really toasty, this fan. It's brilliant in the winter time. So we're going to turn the heating off now because we don't want it on anymore. So you push the button in, but you can actually put your hot water and your heating on at the same time. Okay, so we'll push the button in. Okay, and then it's flashing again. Push it in again, and we're going to go the opposite way with your little wheel, and we're going to turn it off all the way to get to the off position. That's off. Now this is your hot water symbol, so you just turn it there, and it's asking, right, okay, hot water. Push the button in, and you've got your off again. So you're going to go eco or hot or boost. I suggest when you're off grid, I would just go to eco. Okay. You can do either. It's just to save you gas when you're not on a hookup, because it does turn to electric, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So your hot water again, we're going to go to eco for now. Push the button in. Now this will take about 20 to 30 minutes to get really warm, to get hot for your shower or whatever you're going to use it for. We have an 80-litre water tank, which is in the van itself, which we'll show you when you come to pick it up. And we have a 10-litre hot water tank, which is fantastic. It's a great shower in this van. It's really powerful, and it's a nice big space, which I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so that symbol there will keep flashing again until it's reached its temperature, and then you'll just have a steady light on it. Okay, so we're going to turn that off again because we don't need it now. I'm just demonstrating it, so it's off now. Sorry, that's not, it's the, let me just go back. That's your backspace, by the way, if you want to go back to anything. So we're turning it to the hot water again, push the button in, and we're going to turn it off. Okay, that's it off. Now, you can hear it clicking off now. So you're going to turn, we're going to look at the gas. So when you're on a hookup, you can use, obviously you're going to use the electricity there. Now this Truma hot water and heating it will convert to electric. So you're going to turn that, you're going to push the button in like that, and then you just turn your little dial to electric, mix 1, 2 or 3, but we're not going to turn it on because we're off grid at the moment. It will confuse it. So you would just put it onto EL2 and then push the button in, and then you'll have a little symbol at the top there, and then you're full electric. And so the system works just the same with all your symbols, but you'll be on electric instead, which is brilliant. If I forgot to say, so when you're first starting off your heating or anything up here that you're trying to heat, there's a little vent outside. I think Andy explained it before. When the door's pushed right over, this door, if it's pushed right over, you'll cover it. So you must never do that. Otherwise you'll get an E17 number, and it'll tell you that there's no power coming to the van because there's no oxygen getting into it. So I suggest if you need to have your door open at all, have it open and have it level with this side here of your worktop, and then you're not covering it, but you've got enough room to get in and out of the van. So just try and remember that's quite important, because when you do get an E number, you will not be able to touch the system for 15 minutes okay? Which, talking about resetting the system, just pretend we have an E number on here. So we're going to get rid of it. It'll say 15 minutes and it'll say locked until 15 minutes. So what you have to do is a little symbol here, setting, that's your settings. So we're going to go all the way down here to your settings, and it's flashing, and you push the button in, you press the offset, and then you get to, hang on a sec, you get to reset, and then you push the button into reset and it'll reset itself. But it will not do anything. You can't turn it off at the main switch, the main master panel. It won't do anything until it's reset. 15 minutes. So try not to do that E. Try not to do it with your door. Make sure your gas is on. Make sure you convert it to electric, and you shouldn't have any problems with it. Fantastic little system. Okay, so that's your Truma system. Okay, now we're going to just start from this end of the van, and I'll show you what we've got here. Down at the bottom of your fridge, you've got a fire extinguisher, okay? And behind there, you've got your blue chemical. That's your toilet chemical fluid, which we put into every van. So you should have enough for your whole journey. And behind that again, you've got a jack and other equipment under the driver's seat for the RAC if you need them, okay? So coming up a bit here, you've got your fridge freezer here, which is fantastic. So you've got plenty of room in it. We put little bits of things in for our customers, and in the top here you've got your freezer compartment, and we always supply you with ice as well. So this is great. So kitchen part, you've got drawers here, one here which pulls right out. On this side you've got a table which you can pull. If you just bring the camera down, Angie, you can see it. So you just flip your little button off so that you can remove that, and then it just clicks into place like that. But under here you've got two little levers, and you just got to pull them towards yourself to release the catches. It's as simple as that, okay? So that's your table. Tables are not heat proof. This is not heat proof, but we do have two heat proof mats here that we use, which comes in really handy when you're cooking. So you've got your pull-out drawer here. You've got this great big cupboard here, which is fantastic, and it holds your toaster, your coffee machine, kettle, and anything else that you want to put into it. It's a good space. So you take a good look at that, and you know that you've got enough space there, and you've got a couple of sockets at the bottom, and you've got your microwave, which is just above it there, which is switched on at the minute. I've got to tell you, I'm really sorry, but this does not work off grid. It's too powerful. But it will work when you on a hookup here. It's a microwave grill, which is fab, but we also have a toaster there, so when you are off grid you can still have your toast. Okay, and we also put supplies in, kitchen roll, cling film, everything like that. Above here you've got your cutlery, so we supply you with everything you need. We send you an inventory so that you know exactly what's in the van, and that lives up here just above the cab. Okay, so that's in there. Let's go a little bit more forward. More technical stuff now. This is your toilet. We're going to talk about your toilet cassette, okay, which lives in here. So if you're off grid with your toilet cassette, people ask, how long does it last? How long does this piece of string really? It's about, I'll show you the size of it now. So we open this little cupboard here, and it's got a flap here, like the step, so the flap's got to be up, and then you can pull it out. Now, if you find that you can't get the toilet cassette to come out, it means that inside the toilet, it's not closed. It's got a little lever which connects from the toilet, I'll show you in a minute, into the cassette, and it's got to be closed. And if it's not closed, it's telling you that, so you've got to close it, or it won't come out. So don't keep pulling it, otherwise it'll break. So that comes out like so, okay? And have you got it under, can you see? Okay, so in here you've got two little arrows in this top bit here, which means they've got to be facing each other, because this little flap thing goes on either way, but it won't go back into its container unless those arrows are facing each other. So I'll just take this off just to explain to you. This is the flap that I'm talking about in the toilet, which opens and closes this. So when you're on the toilet, whatever you're doing in the toilet will go straight into this bit here, okay? So make sure it's closed. To open it to put your liquid fluid in it, I'll just get it again and show you. Oh, excuse me. Right, this. You can see it's very, very concentrated, and you probably need about that much every time that you're emptying and refilling it when it's clean. Okay, it's quite condensed, it breaks everything down, it's brilliant stuff. So that goes in here, or you can put it straight into your toilet, the chemical fluid, or you can put it into the top bit here. But I suggest put it straight into your toilet because it can stain your clothes really. So again, make sure your arrows are facing the right way with that, and then you take it out when it's full, and you take it to your well, in the campsite, they have the supply places for it so that you can actually empty it. So you push this up to your chemical waste. That they'll have them in every campsite. That'll have them. Even if you're off grid, you can use them. You can just ask sites if you can just use the chemical waste disposal. They charge maybe about a £5 to do it, but it's worth it. So when you get there, it's on wheels, as you can see, little handle there. So you've got to unscrew here, this cap here, like so, and make sure you don't lose this. Put it somewhere safe, because if you do, you've no toilet really, have you? So then you tip it out, and then there's a little button here. It's just a manual button, and it just helps to push everything out of here. So when you're emptying it, just remember that's what that little button's for there. So, okay, and I'm going to take you into the toilet now and show you. You can see how much it holds, so it's up to you how much you're going to put into it. All right, so we're going to close it up, and we're going to put it back in. Really carefully put this back in here, because a lot of things goes on in here that you don't realise, and it can break them easily. So just push it nice and gently back into its slot, pull it, make sure it's in properly. And I suggest don't be in transit with this full, because you don't want to be cleaning it up really. All right, so that's your chemical toilet. Now again, we'll go through anything that you need to know again, no problem. Just ask us on the day and we'll go through it all again for you. While I'm down on my knees, I can show you everything here as well. Is all your teas and coffees, cloths. There's a little washing line as well in there, dustpan and brush, everything you need for your travel. Okay, in here, if you can just look in there, you'll see all your plates, pots and pans, everything that you need to cook with is all in there. All right, so that's underneath your little sink. So in the toilet, and if you come over this side, and then I can open this door for them. So this is your shower and toilet in here. Just let me explain about this little door knob. If you just give it a right good quick press, it'll undo easily then. So once you get in here, as you can see, you've got your shower curtain, you've got your shower, you've got these hooks here, will hold weight up to about 5k each. So they're brilliant for, like, you know, wet coats and things, to let them drip dry in your shower. All right, so your toilet, if you just go down to your toilet, you'll be able to see what, so underneath here lives your cassette. All right, so this is your little lever, on and off, open and closing it, and you've got a little button here to flush your toilet. Now if you want your flush on, you've got to have your power on, you've got to have your pump on, switched on at the main panel up there. So when it's switched on, let me just check, it's on. So just push it really, see this as well, this is really sensitive, like your trimmer. Tiny little push, like that. Don't push hard in it, because it'll break the system, and the whole toilet has to come out, and it will cost you a lot of money to replace and repair it. So it's just a little push the button, that's all you do with it, and that's your toilet flush. Okay, so make sure this is closed, like I've said before you take your cassette out to empty it. That's the toilet there. All right, and then we've got, what else have we got? Your little centre light, it's just there, it's here. So that comes on in the night time whenever you want to go to the toilet through the night. In here you have a lovely big cupboard space, which is there for your toiletries. At the moment we've got some Lozzie spray for the Scottish travellers, and that's just for your feet. It's just a little foot mat for your feet. So that's your big cupboard inside your toilet, bath shower. Here you've got your drop down sink, which you pull that down, and you've got a great little sink here, which is you just pull the tap over like so, and then make sure your pump's on again, and then you turn it on. Okay, so it looks a bit yellow there, it's because it's not been used for a while. So what we do with this, when you tip that away, what it does, it runs to the outside of it. It's got a separate little pipe, and it runs in, it's called your grey water. So anything from your little sink in the kitchen to your shower to this is separate to your toilet. So that goes into a little tube all the way out to the to your grey water black plastic container that Andy showed you in the outside video. So these pipes are tiny, so please don't have anything down the sink or the shower. If you've got lots of hair, please try and remove it. Don't let it go down inside any of the little pipes, because they'll block very easily. So that's your sink, and you see, so it just runs down into that little pipe and out the side of the van. Okay, so that's your sink. Close it up, make sure it's all secure, and then you're off. So that's your bathroom. All right, it's a lovely big space in there, plenty of room for a proper shower. Okay, and then we'll move on to let's go right down the back to the important stuff. Behind this is all your sleeping in your lounge area here. It's a lovely big space. Behind here you've got a carbon monoxide and a smoke detector, which are tested every time just before the van goes out, and they live behind there. We put them there for obvious reasons. You don't want it flashing while you're asleep. Okay, so this is your lounge area. Table is, it's a brilliant little thing. This, it will go anywhere you like this, and it'll pull up and down, round about, whatever. It's just very flexible, and it's really easy to use. It works like a ratchet, really. So we've got a little lever here at the bottom. So in order to loosen the table, you've got to push the button in, lift it up, and then push it the opposite way to whatever you want it on or off. At the moment I'm loosening it, so push the button up, or push the button in, lift it up, the handle, and then push it down again, and that's it. Undoing it, that's it. Tightening it up, tight, that's it, really tight. So we're going to loosen it, so we're going to do the opposite way, like that. Push the button in, lift the handle back up, push it, and you can see that it's loose now, and that'll just lift off, and we can keep it in the front cab. This top part comes off as well, so then you can have it flush, you can have it behind, or put it wherever you like. So at the moment we've got it on, so I'm going to tighten it up again, because we're going to leave it up. Okay, so that's your table there. Right above me you've got a skylight, which is, again, it's a great thing to have when it's warm. And there's a bar here. Okay, so when you're opening it up, you got to push the button in, release the bar, and pull the bar towards you, all the way towards you. It's actually spitting it in a minute, so I won't leave it open for long. And that's simple as that. Okay, to close it, you do the opposite, pull the bar down, but make sure that this bar goes on top of the button like that. Click, and it clicks close. If you don't, you get water coming in. Okay, it's as simple as that. And you've got fly screen if you want to leave it open, and then nighttime you've got your blackout. Pull it over like that, and that's it. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and that's your skylight. Blinds, quite self-explanatory. They're all blackout. These are great, especially in winter. It keeps it really cozy. So that's how you close them. These blinds here, they're really, again, you've got to be really sensitive with them because they can break. All right, so you have to push. I'll actually show you in another window because that curtain's over. So this is the same. They're all more or less the same, all these blinds. What you have to do is you've got to squeeze these two levers together really gently. Put your finger on there and just pull it gently down until you hear it click into the bottom piece like that. Yeah, don't lean on them or anything because you'll break all of this here, and it's quite expensive to repair. So just be really careful with them and they'll work for you fine. So in order to release, to lift it up, you just pull this little lever, push it down like that, and it's releasing the catch. And again, squeeze the 2 levers in and then just let it go off itself like that. Okay, but it also has a fly screen, so we'll just do it again. Push it down, connect it. So you're actually connecting this to your fly screen. If you can just see it there, a little bit there. And then you just squeeze, instead of releasing this now, you're going to squeeze them and hold these 2 together. Lift it up like that. And then your fly screen's there. Like that. Okay, it's as simple as that. Or you can release it like this and let it drop. But just be careful and they won't break. Your windows will open like this. Release, push the button in, release it, and then just push it open. Okay, there's another window. All these windows here open the same. This doesn't. This window, because the door pulls in towards it, it's a slide. So you just push this lever across like that. So you're releasing the catch, and then it slides open like that. And it's just the same when you're closing it and locking it up. So that's your windows and blinds. I'll just close all them up to show you. So your light switches under here as well. These are all dimmable, which is really nice because you can set a nice mood lighting. So keep your finger depressed on it and it'll just go up and down to whatever you want to set it at. So all of these are the same. There's 4 of these there. Sorry, under 4 of them, and they're all the same. So somebody's obviously had them on dim, which is lovely. Okay, and your curtains, by the way, are all black out too, and they'll all pull across. You've got lots of luggage space in here. You've got a locker there, a locker there. That's a blanket that we put in for you to keep you cozy if you want to keep your doors open at night. And in here too, you've got more luggage space. There's lots of luggage space in this van. All right, so there's 4 overhead lockers there. You've got under this bit here of your sofa, you have your batteries and your inverter, so you can't use that one. Okay, but under this one and under this one and under these 2 here, I'll just lift it up and you can see how deep they actually go. So there's 2 on this side like that. That's all your bedding that I put in if you require it. So that's that side. And over here you've got your trimmer heater, so you can't use this one either. So you've got 4 big pieces of cupboard space for all your luggage. There's more than enough room. Light above here again, but this is not dimmable. There's 2 of these, one at the front and one in the middle here. They're just very, very bright. If you need some bright lights, they're there. Okay, and on this side as well, you've got your projector screen. We'll go through all your audio system when you're there, because they're quite different in each van, and sometimes we put different projectors into different vans, so I'll explain that when you arrive. So you just basically put your finger in these little levers here and then just pull it down like a roller blind. It works like a roller blind, and you have a fantastic cinema screen there, which the customers love it. Okay, so that's that. So the bed, when you're making up your bed, now your bed can be either 2 singles, okay, which when you look at the singles, when you pull these cushions away, you've got all this room. You have 2 big single beds and they're really comfy, aren't they, Andy?
Very.
So we've used them as singles as well as double. So you can have a double, singles, or a super king, whichever you prefer. All right, so what you do is you pull these panels here, come right out. Sorry, if I go to this side and I'll show you this one here. This panel, just you put your hand in there and just pull it right across like that. It doesn't have to fit all the way, because when you bring your cushions all in the middle like this, that comes there, that comes there, they go down, and it goes like that all the way. All right, so that makes up all your bed. I suggest when you're making it,
you have to take the table out, of course.
Yeah, of course your table's got to come out. Yeah, we know, I think. So what we do is, I would make from this side first and then work your way out. Otherwise you're going to be climbing over to get sheets and stuff tucked in there. So that's how the bed's made up. It's like a a jigsaw, if you will. If you want a big massive Super King, that's how you do it. If you just want a double, you can just use these 2 bits here or them 2 bits there, whichever you prefer. It's very flexible. Okay, so I'll just put this back and then I'll show you. We have a table and chairs as well, which I'll show you where they live. And then I'm going to take you outside the van and I'm going to show you how to convert it into an on-grid instead of off-grid. So that's when you're on a hookup basically. Okay, so push them all back in and I'll show you. I'm going to take you out the back doors so that you can see how you can get out your back doors. So you can actually take this off, take your cushion away as well on here and put them wherever you like. These are actually for your the front of the cab. It's the cover the windows at night time with suckers on them, and they're designed for this van, so they fit perfectly. So we keep them usually under there or wherever again you desire. You can put them wherever you like. So we'll just push this back in like so, and then here the back doors will open like that, and just open them both now. Like that. You have a little gate here. I don't know whether you can see that. But this, at night time when you're sleeping, it's probably better to have that locked because it acts a bit like a, you know, like a headrest at the back of your bed. So keep that locked. But you can just unlock it and go at the back of it like so. These things here are for your pillows. If you wanted to put your pillows inside these to hold full-size pillow, it should look quite nice in the van. It's a girly thing. Up to you. So we'll do that. So in here, if you want to come out here, Andy, I can show them what you do with the van. So to change it at the moment it's got inverter written on it there, the plug, which means it's off grid. All right, so the plug's got to be in there when you're off grid. As soon as you get to your campsite, take your plug and you change it. I'm not going to put it in there because it'll confuse it a bit. So you put it straight into there, into your main. Your microwave is probably the first thing that you'll notice it'll work. It's because that's the only thing that doesn't work unless it's on a hookup. So plug it into the mains and then you go and you do your Truma system and put it all into your electric. And Andy explained to you what you do with all your hookup gear before on the outside of the van. It's as simple as that. Okay, the inverter lives inside here under this cushion here. So the 240 volt, will explain that again to you when we see you. All right. So back into off-grid mode, inverter, and that's all I think you need to know about the inside of the van. I'm just going to look around and just follow them around, let them have a right good look at the inside of it, and you can see it's a very spacious van. And I think I've covered everything. And we look forward to meeting you, and you'll have a wonderful time. So, and when you look back in this video, if there's anything at all, please ask us. We'd rather you had a great time or worried. We don't want you worrying about anything. Okay, thank you.